Good morning. Welcome to the October 16th Board of Assessors meeting. This meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local access channel 8 and through the website at www.eastham-ma.gov. And do we want to do the minutes?
Yes, I have the minutes here. Alex, can you see us?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, so just so you can see all the members, you see that Guy has joined us for the first time today. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yes, we switched roles this time. I'm remote and he's in person last time.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have the minutes here from, well, I have both, and I know I sent them late, so I don't know if you've had a chance to review them. Both of you were at the meeting.
Yeah. I did look at them. Are there any corrections or modifications or discussions?
No.
Okay, with that, I will ask for a motion that we accept both the minutes for the general meeting as well as the executive session.
And I think just the members who were.
Oh, I'm
present.
sorry. Well,
You can make corrections and everything,
Right.
but I don't think you can vote to approve them
Yeah,
if you weren't in attendance.
you're right. You're right.
Oh, technicalities.
Yeah.
Technicalities. Exactly.
So moved.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, and while you do that, I'll move on to the director's update just to keep things rolling. So as you're aware, Alex is not with us in the room. She has relocated and is abroad attending the meeting here. So she'll keep on joining for, all in the capacities that she was operating before, just in a different location. Okay, and then we have hired for the assistant assessor field appraiser position, so that new hire will be starting on Monday. So lots of new learning to come.
Will he be
Shoes to fill.
Yes.
That is for sure. Will he, it is a he, right?
It's a she.
Oh, she, okay. Will she be in the office most of the time at the beginning or?
Yeah. I mean, there'll be a lot of field,
Yeah.
training also, but yes. That's the goal. So, I mean, as you know, it takes a long time to become well-versed in there's so many different things that assessing kind of ties together, and just even when you don't think it's really related to assessing, still somehow it's assessing's, job to solve the problem. So there's a lot of learning. So
Has she done any of the coursework that needs to be done, or is it?
not the coursework. She's all signed up for 101. So kind of start slow there. She's done the use PAP, which is part of the training. It's the
The assistant administrator has terminated the remote control session. Oh, we're sorry. Are we still on? Alex, are you still there?
I'm still here. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Good. That's all that matters. We have a warning up there.
Sorry.
It's the appraisal standards, basically. So they're coming in to the role with that type of knowledge and background. So they've done that type of training. We'll have to go forward with the ones that are more for just the assessing realm.
Sure.
So baby steps in that direction. As you know, the bills went out, so that's been kind of the hustle and bustle has kind of come back. We had a lot of issues just getting the bills into the billing system this year, just with the RTE kind of threw a lot of kinks into the whole process. So we got it out there, and now it's the time when all the questions arise. So we're kind of in that process. And I think it's probably a good time to use this as a platform with, some of you being relatively new to the process. And if any taxpayers out there, watch this rebroadcast for fun. I think for informative purposes, I think some of the main questions that we're seeing with regards to the bill, a lot of people heard 3%, 3% being tossed around for the RTE. They know it was voted in at 3%. So now they're looking at their tax bills, and it's a pretty common practice, I think, for a lot of people to say, you know, well, this divided by this and this all adds up, and to just kind of double check the math. And they're seeing on that line item on the bill that says residential exemption, 24,332. And they're thinking, well, it's supposed to be 3% and my value is this. Why is my exemption this amount? So, you know, it is a complicated calculation. So not everybody, I mean, I wouldn't have paid attention to how it's being calculated if I wasn't the calculator. But it's, to be clear, it's 3% of the average residential value, which is, so it's 811,063. That's all of the total residential value divided by the parcel count, essentially. So then it's 3% of that number. So everybody gets the same amount reduced.
Right.
It's not 3% of your individual value. So that's been a pretty common question that we're getting. And then also 3% was also, it's a very common number, this this go around. 3% is also the median change for a single family home. So, you know, we always talk about, are your values going up this year? Sometimes they go up 10%, sometimes they go up 24%. So this year, the median change was 3%. So a lot of people hear that and think, well, they think a few different things. It doesn't mean that all homes went up 3%, and it doesn't mean that your bill is going to be an 3% increase over the prior year. Neither of those things. What it really means is that, you know, when we do our whole statistical analysis and we look at the sales and we, you know, stratify everything by building style, like Cape or bungalow, or location, you know, where your whereabouts in town. And then all of those different factors have to be kind of altered to be brought up to 100% of the market value. So it changes values across town based on the certain things that are kind of increased or decreased. I have a little, I didn't print it out for everybody here, but for example, the base land value didn't change. So if you weren't in an area that saw a change, your land value didn't increase this time. But if you were in North Eastham and we have land price indexes, they're kind of, it's kind of a plus or minus that we put onto the property based on either positive or negative attributes, basically. So are you near a highway? Are you near a beach? So some factors like the PFI folks went up 17.6% in their land, Southeast Ham 17.9, you know, depending on your proximity to, you know, a desirable location. So those people are obviously not going to be in the 3% range because their land value is going up 17%. And then we had buildings, we had, you know, ranches increased, bungalows increased, contemporaries increased. So if you're just looking at your neighbor and they didn't go up and you did, or they went up 3% and you went up 9%, it could be because you have a contemporary style home and they have a ranch or something, you know. So it's not, you can't just look at where you are, you have to look at where you are and what you are. There's a lot that goes into the actual value. So that's been another common question, is just how did I not go up the 3% that you said I was going to?
Right.
So it was just kind of misunderstood. So yeah, now we've cleared the air with that. I think those are pretty much the two most common questions. And there's always the ever-present question of what type of assistance is out there.
Right.
And so it's been a good opportunity to get the people who didn't apply for the RTE to you know, finally apply, and then to talk about the other programs that are out there. We still have the taxation aid fund that people can use. That's for 60 and over. And then the Eastham Community Fund is for under 60. So we're trying to cover all the gaps.
All
Yeah,
bases.
all bases have no gaps. So
Gotcha.
that is where we are.
Yeah, I know the treasurer's office, we've, well, like myself personally, my taxes were pretty much the same. As it worked out. And I think some people were looking for, thinking back to the meeting and thinking there was gonna be some gigantic,
Yes.
decrease.
Mhm.
And there wasn't, but I think the other people were very happy that their taxes didn't go up or they stayed
Right,
similar, whatever. So,
right. Yeah, to any taxpayers who weren't really following along too closely. And didn't really keep an eye on the outcome of what the RTE became.
right,
They were thinking, oh, it's gonna be this giant break, and they didn't hear the conclusion where Eastham voted to implement it kind of strategically and,
mhm,
use it as a tool to offset future increases and kind of try to keep things balanced going forward. So
yeah,
there'll never be that giant increase, but or decrease rather. I have
Right.
gotten a lot of those questions as well.
You never know what next year will bring.
exactly.
Very true.
And I think we did it, I think our suggestion to the select board and the select board's decision to keep it at 3%, I think that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
At least we got our toes wet,
mhm,
now we can go forward and see.
right.
Um,
One more question that is still, and you might be getting it on your end too. The people who aren't eligible due to the way that the law was written are kind of coming back out of the woodwork and kind of revisiting the topic, if they don't have, if it's in a trust and they're not both a trustee and a beneficiary, then they're not eligible. So those people are kind of revisiting. And then also the whole LLC topic that is still floating around. That one is just essentially, when you put your property in an LLC, you're creating a separate entity. So the legal decision coming down from the state is that if the requirement is that you're the owner and occupant, you're not technically the owner because the LLC is the owner and you're only the occupant. So you've created that separation for your own protection. And then, as a result, it doesn't offer you certain benefits down the road. So it's hard to grasp. I think it's only something that I understand because I keep, regurgitating it, but
mhm.
it's out there. It's ever present. So,
The other thing that's sort of unrelated that we've been hearing is, the assessing department did an audit of people who were getting personal property taxes. We found some people who had just kind of slipped through the cracks.
yes.
Now those people are getting bills, so that's a good thing because that's more income coming in. But,
Mhm.
some people are like, oh, what is this? And like, well,
Yes.
Massachusetts, if this is your second home. Yeah, so
Right.
it's all good. Once you tell them what's going on, they're like, okay, fine.
Right. And they just maybe happen to fly under the radar for, 10 years or so. And so it's their first time around and it can cause some confusion. But all in all, people have been pretty good once you kind of explain it to them. They get it and they go away, not always happy, but with an understanding at least. And that's all you can hope for is be pleasant and offer understanding. So,
I always think of this side before November 1st, this is like the good phone calls, and after November 1st, I kind of get a little more interested.
I think it flips because ours it's the pre-November, it's right when the bill goes out, I think that you get
Right.
And do a sigh of relief a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. So that's all I have for update and additional business. If there's any additional business that we want to.
I just wanted to let you know, I did stop by and talk with Linda Sassy.
Okay,
We were talking a couple days ago about what a quorum was for this department or this committee, because it's such a small committee.
Yeah.
We only have 3 active members plus an alternate. And by the way, today, because one of the members is missing, you are a voting member. Normally, if the 3 members would hear, you would be able to ask questions and do everything, but you just couldn't vote. But the quorum for this is 2 people.
okay,
So even if it was just Brian and I, it would be a
Mhm.
legal meeting, or if it was Brian and Guy. I mean,
Okay.
it would be a legal meeting.
Right, right.
So.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
good, because sometimes with such a small, body on
Yeah.
your committee, it's hard to maybe reach that number, so.
No, so I just wanted to let you know that I did talk with her.
Good.
And we were correct in our assumptions.
Good, very good. Okay, well, with that, is there any other additional business we'd like to discuss? Do we want to talk about a date for the next meeting before we hop into executive?
Sure.
I think, well, let's see, going into November, the bills are due on the 3rd. So, and the abatement period closes on the 1st,
Still on the 3rd.
still on the 3rd,
Yeah.
the day the bill is due. Thank you. So we could just do the Thursday after that on the 6th if everyone's available.
Mhm.
And that way we'll have, at least we would probably not have gotten to, well, who knows? It really depends on the type of abatements that we received this year, but we can at least go through all the personal property ones and get those out of the way.
Right.
And maybe some of the, if there are some easier real estate ones that we're able to get to in that time period.
Do you know what date that is?
Thursday, this,
Oh, 6.
Six,
Yes,
yeah.
sorry.
Forgot my phone and lost.
okay. So I guess that,
That closes out the general meeting.
yeah, there's, everything else will be executive session.
Well, then we'll close out the general session at 11:17. And go into executive session and not to return to the general session.